Finally, we are now ready to talk about Leo. Leo was introduced in 1957 as the 7th MGM Lion, although George was somewhat in use until 1958. Leo actually did not have a name, but if he did, no one knows what his true name is. That is why everyone refers to him as Leo, as Goldwyn did with his lion decades before. Leo is considered to be the most familiar of the MGM lions and has the longest tenure of all of them, being with the company close to 60 years. Leo is also the youngest lion used by MGM, hence his smaller mane. Although the lion itself has not changed since the late 50s, many stylistic changes were made to the MGM logo itself. With that being said, it's time to explore the major subvariants of the Leo MGM logos. Before I get into the logo, I wish to point out that the reason multiple dates are included in this subvariant is because this subvariant was supplanted by other subvariants for short periods of time before it was brought back. I will explain when I get into the other subvariants, but for now, let's discuss this particular one. This subvariant contains all the recognizable components that exists in the current MGM logo. The stylized Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer message on the top of the lion itself, the film strips, the mask, etc. These are all recognizable. The M, G, and M are still in red. As for the lion roar, Leo was accompanied by Tanner's recorded roars and not his own. By 1982, however, the lion's roar was changed to a synthesized version that is considered the most recognizable roar in comparison to the rest of the MGM logo history. And now for something completely unexpected. This variant is perhaps the most fascinating and the most antithetical logo to MGM, that I consider it to be the most unusual logo design turnaround I have seen yet. And this is taking into account Warner Brothers' weird logo changes too. But I'll discuss that in a future episode. So what happened here, you may ask? Where's Leo? Where's the film strip, the motto, and everything that made MGM's logo distinctive? Well, MGM decided to have a massive facelift in the 1960s. They wanted to update their image, which makes sense considering they were under new management at the time. MGM contracted LIPPINCOTT, a corporate identity firm, to create a new logo identity for the company. What they came up with was a logo that smacked of the 60s aesthetic, a minimalist logo of a transparent circular lion against a blue background with simply MGM below the logo in yellow. There is no music and no animation. It is simply an artistic statement that begs the question of what MGM was doing behind the scenes. This logo is aptly called the stylized variant, and boy how stylized it is. This logo was used only in 3 films, one of them being 2001: A Space Odyssey. Well, I guess the unexpected nature of the logo does seem to fit the narrative of 2001. I guess. It is a common theme, especially with movie logos, that the studio creates logos to celebrate major anniversaries such as silver, gold, and diamond anniversaries. MGM is no exception. In 1974, 50 years after MGM was originally founded, MGM unveiled a 50th anniversary logo. The logo starts with the familiar film strips and the motto, but instead of the lion, we first see the text, "Beginning our next 50 years," with the Tanner lion roar playing in the background. Then Leo fades in, does his roar, and the logo fades out. In addition, the words golden and anniversary appear on the left and right hand sides of the logo as opposed to trade and mark. This logo was used only for a short time, and it makes sense considering that, well, time hurries on. Oy, remind me to get a belated birthday card for the lion here. In 1981, MGM acquired United Artists in order to boost their own library and make their films. At this point in time, MGM's owner, Kirk Kerkorian, claimed MGM to be more of a casino company than an actual film studio, and tried to drastically change the direction of the studios themselves. One of his moves was to buy United Artists, another company that I will discuss later. As a result, the byline of the logo changed along with its design. The MGM UA byline can also be seen in the home video versions of the logo, which I may also discuss at a different time. The MGM-UA partnership manifested itself in the form of many physical logos. The first one contains all of the same MGM logo elements, but with one modification. The top part of the logo reads MGM-UA Entertainment Company, with the MGM-UA & Co. all in red. You also can hear the post-1982 lion roar in these variants. But wait! More anniversaries are around the corner. In conjunction with the MGM-UA rebranding came the 60th anniversary of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios. To celebrate their Diamond Jubilee, a new logo variant was made. The logo was recolored so that certain elements of the logo appeared silver, including the drama mask. In addition, the words Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and United Artists are etched into the circular film strip surrounding Leo, with Entertainment Co. located in the bottom portion. The words Diamond Jubilee exist above the logo and twinkles, while the words 60 Years of Great Entertainment sit in a straight line under the logo. This logo was also not in use for very long because time is a rather fickle mistress. Around this time, new bylines were introduced. MGM was repackaged as a subsidiary of MGM-UA Communications, which was located in the byline of this variant. One variant has a standardized MGM-UA Communications logo with its own separate jingle, followed by the familiar MGM logo. This variant is indeed the more familiar variant to many, as its core design has not changed since 1986. The film strips, mask, and branches are dripping in gold, while the familiar Leo is still there, beckoning us to watch more MGM films, and the trade and mark lettering has returned. Around this time, MGM celebrated its 70th and 75th anniversaries. The 70th and 75th anniversaries can be lumped into this category because aside from the subtle changes to each logo, the logo's core design remains unchanged. The lion's roar also remains the same. The 70th anniversary edition of the logo contains the core design with the phrase 70th anniversary fading in slowly underneath the logo. The 75th anniversary version features the number 75 zooming inward towards the logo with the word anniversary fading in as Leo does his signature roaring. As time went on, everybody entered the internet age, and so did MGM. MGM then established their own website, which, from that point on, appears below the MGM logo so as to advertise their rad new domain name. The logo, from that point forward, only experiences minor changes, but we're not done just yet. Leo is still around, and the core design of the logo still remains the same, except the color scheme is altered. In these versions of the logo, everything appears more golden and metallic. The film strips appear to be drenched in liquid gold, and all parts of the logo give off an obvious metallic luster. The website domain name on the bottom also changes from www.mgm.com to simply mgm.com. Aside from the more metallic appearance, the logo is overall a similar deal. Time for our final subvariant, which is... Now this logo I really do like, as it not only updates itself with great CGI animation, but also gives the logo a more epic and exciting outlook. I mean, watch it for yourself. Look at that clear zoom out. That's freaking intense as hell. That lion looks like it's been dousing itself in gold too. The logo also appears more kinetic as parts of the logo slowly move into place as the lion zooms into the center of the screen. These moving parts make the logo pop, and towards the end, the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer portion of the logo still zooms in as it sparkles more than once. That is certainly an effective logo. And that, my friends, is the current logo we are dealing with today. Color me gold. I mean impressed. Isn't it appropriate that the graphic design company behind this logo is called Shine? although I have to question MGM's obsession with gold coloring. And this is the logo we are seeing in theaters today. Whew! What a trip that was. Now it's all fun and games from here. So, what do I think is its future? For one thing, if Leo has been around for 60 years, there's not that much of a chance he will be replaced. His use in many films and his likeness being adapted for the CGI logo update indicates to me that MGM certainly will not be retiring this crazy lion anytime soon. However, there's one thing I want to address.
MGM celebrates its 90th birthday with a rather unusual guest. Leo the Lion finally gets his moment in the limelight.
MGM's 90th anniversary has come and has went, and yet I cannot seem to find any 90th anniversary variants of the MGM logo. Of course, this video shows that MGM did recognize its own 90th anniversary, but the fact that it had a 70th anniversary logo and refused to have a 90th seems a bit random and confusing to me. Perhaps it may have to do with the company's reorganization measures, or someone just did not feel like animating a huge 90 in the current logo. Whatever the case, I hope that they at least do a 95th anniversary or something. Stay the course with this current logo, though. The animation is fluid and does the job of enhancing Leo's majesty. Although MGM decided to make weird decisions about its logo and featured some strange-looking lions, I think this logo is overall iconic. It's recognizable, it has a beautiful golden color palette, the fonts look nice, and the lion is certainly a good centerpiece. The lion's confidence definitely demonstrates the studio's confidence in its own films and their own audience. Certainly up there with all the other recognizable logos of our time. Although I hopefully outlined the important MGM variants, there are other MGM variants that incorporate features of their own films into the logo and are somewhat creative. Here are some that I found while searching around.
I think he's bummed out.
Stick a pin in his bum, eh?
No way.
What are you on, Valium?
Maybe I ought to crank his tail, eh? That'd start him up.
Okay,
start up. Come on, eh?
Maybe we ought to call
Start
Marlon
up,
Perkins, eh? Get Wild Kingdom here, eh? Hey, come. Oh, geez, you getting mad, eh?
Yeah. Oh, geez, we gotta get going.
However, I think the most telling reason why MGM is so iconic is because of how many companies and artists parodied the logo. In fact, here are several parodies that I discovered too. Quite hilarious if I do say so myself. Well, I suppose this wraps up this particular episode of the Logo Corner. Boy, what a massive episode this was. I suppose with major motion picture companies comes a long line of logos, each with their own unique stories and origins. Of course, 7 Lions made history with this logo, and here's hoping we still remain at 7. Give it up for MGM and its cultural impact, everybody. Coming up next, more iconic logos, maybe about mountains, the earth, random hexagons, floating eyes, flying letter V's, and the many twisted and questionable reasons as to why these icons were picked in the first place. This has been Youngblood Fantasy 91, and ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all on the brighter later. Good night, folks.